Mr. GM asked a real weird question.
All right.
Jesus.
Do you think they'll add more covenants in 9.1, 9.2?
Oh, wow.
They teased that, but I wonder if it's been scrapped, because they teased that there might be a covenant associated with the Maw, like a jailer's covenant. You remember?
They said that like Sylvanas' armor
that.
was like her armor if she joined the Maw covenant.
So the thing was I didn't feel like I could be wrong, right? Like this is I feel like it was something that was up for interpretation. I felt like the covenant around the jailers, like Asmund kind of started to say, was just the Sylvanas simp patrol. Like it's just the simp army. I never thought it was necessarily going to be playable. Like I feel like the simp army is actually the bad guys.
They are.
I tell you, yeah, the reason that might happen is, one, they did tease that at BlizzCon, that there might be another one, and it would be the only thing that actually makes sense when he's talking about if we pull on that thread, it unravels a lot of things, because the only justification, if we're to believe the ripcord exists, right, and the reason they don't want to pull it is that something is planned to happen later in the expansion where this doesn't work. That's the only other side I can think of, is when he's talking about if we do this change, it has repercussions elsewhere, which doesn't make sense given the current state of the game. Like if you're just taking the way the current state of Shadowlands is, that doesn't make any sense what he's saying there. So I have to believe that there's something they have in mind that doesn't work if they pull the ripcord now. If I'm being like optimistic about it, it's because they have something planned that could be an extra covenant, or players can side with the jailer in some way.
It would have to be so dramatic, right? Like
exactly. Yeah. Like they have something cool planned, but it doesn't happen till later. But if we like separate all this stuff out now and let you swap in things, then it really doesn't get the payoff we're hoping for. That's so maybe. I think there's a maybe.
Whoa.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I think another covenant could be cool, but it could also just be like throwing a wrench in a system that's already not working.
Imagine there's a covenant that just has access to all the spells because you captured all the soul binds or whatever. That would be legit.
Yeah. Which covenant are you? I wonder what I want to go. Oh, guys, it's hard to decide.
Even if they call it the Fluffy Bunny Covenant and make it super shit,
I'm going to be a fluffy bunny. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'll be a fluffy bunny. I'll go for it. You can call it whatever you want. I'll do it.
Exactly.
That's going to be a good clip. I'll be a fluffy bunny, dude. But yeah, no, I definitely, I mean, I wonder if they could ever make something like that work, where all of a sudden you manage to unlock all of the different covenants and not have to worry about the power as much, and then you can still identify as one. Do you guys think that that's something that could ever work?
I think it probably could, sure. I mean, like, I think it's something that as time goes on, like, depending on how balance is and how many people, like, pick each covenant, like, Blizzard might look into. That's kind of like the whole idea of the ripcord. Like, are they ever going to do that? I mean, who knows, right? But I think it's something that could definitely probably happen. Yeah, I mean, definitely probably happen, right? I mean, there's a possibility, sure.
Yeah, I think it's right now I'm kind of in the phase where I still really hate it, but I overall hate more Blizzard interfering with how we play the game. Like, in the way they've never done before. That I find a very slippery slope. Right now they're really dictating the exact paths you have to go, and sooner or later, even if you're not affected this time, they're gonna. One day, because they're quite whimsical with this stuff, right? They change their mind all the time. Yeah. So now they don't like X and Y, and last time they did like X and Y. So next expansion, it could be something else that they'll come for. Right. So that's what I hate more than the actual Covenant spell system. I just find it needlessly frustrating. But I do think, and I stand by my word, that as more players, as everyone gets into the Shadowlands, they realize, one, these things aren't worth the fuss of being locked off. They're not identifying.
Yeah.
They're not making. I'm not a Kyrian paladin. I could put the transmog on regardless. The ability doesn't do this for me, right? I still throw Avenger's Shield. That's the nature of the beast. That people start to realize. I wish I could just use my other class spell for a weekend.
Yeah,
that's it. You know, because it looks cool. It looks fun. I want to go and do some BGs this weekend, and I would like to use the more PvP orientated class spell. And you're telling me I need a second character for that? Like, that's just not fun. And that's when it's going to get pissed.
I think that's probably the way I look at it too. Yeah. It's also like them making decisions for like balance or like their vision of the game at the expense of players' enjoyment.
Yeah, I feel like somebody just doesn't like certain things and they have a lot of influence for some reason. Like, I really don't like people trading loot. Why? We've done that in every MMO that's existed ever. Like, what's your problem? It's our loot. What's the issue? No, we don't like it, so we're going to make it stop because it bugs me. And like, that's what it feels like. It feels super childish.
Yeah.
Like
Master Looter.
Yeah, you know. Like,
yeah.
What is the deal? And then then they changed the Mythic Plus gear to intentionally prevent it. So it's like, we don't like it. We want you to go slower. It's like, if we can field, whatever will be.
Yeah, I guess so.